Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to go through how to use the trig identities you learnt in year 12 with questions with radians. Now the method is the same whether it's radians or degrees, so this should hopefully just be a recap for you. Now first thing you should always do, no matter what equation I look at, the first thing I do is always check what is within my trig. Now this one here, luckily they match. Now in year 13 they might not always match, which is why you have to look in your trig functions first, but luckily here they do. But they don't match my limits. So the first thing I always need to do is make sure my limits match what's inside. Especially if these two things, these now match, so it's got to match. It's all got to match. So that's why always check and adjust your limits first. Now, I've got mixtures of sines and coses here, but something stands out to me, something screams out, and that is there's a squared sign. Now these, if it's both of them the same, absolutely fine, but it says sine squared, which makes me think about this identity. Now, so what I can do is I can see sine squared is 1 minus cos squared. Now as there was a 2 there, there should be a 2 in here. Luckily, 2 theta, 2 theta, they both match, cos and cos. So I'm just going to tidy this up slightly because it is going to be a quadratic equation. And I like my squared terms to be positive, so I'm going to take this across to the other side. And be careful here, a lot of people think these would cancel, but 2 minus 2 minus 2 is minus 4. Okay, so I'm now going to factorise. Now you can factorise, but actually this is me thinking about old spec. I would not actually factorise here because you get no marks for it. I'm so used to teaching some of the old methods, I forget about the new ones because we have our solving polynomial button, and this will be quicker in the exam. So 4, 5 minus 4, we have cos 2 theta is 0.637, and my other solution is minus 3.137. Now I've already spotted something with this one. If you have, great. All right, I'm just going to go back to the previous one. Now I've got my R at the top. I am in radians mode. Now, do not divide by 2 at this point. When you have coded questions, you have to cast it before you uncode it. Do not divide by 2. Now on this one, you should have noticed something. Now, I was expecting this to happen. You cannot just write math error or no real solutions, anything like that. You'll get no marks for that. The reason why there's no answer is cos only goes between 1 and minus 1. And here we have minus 3. So don't just write what your calculator says, math error. That does not show your understanding and you will lose a reasoning mark. So here, because it's come out as that, I'm just going to write no solution. I've made it absolutely clear to the examiner. I know there's no solution from this bit, just from here. Now, if I do end up with 2 solutions, I will cast them both. But here I'm just going to deal with this one. So, I'm dealing with cos, so plus, plus, minus, minus. And I always see how far I'm going. I'm going up to 4 pi, so that's twice around my diagram. So my solutions for 2 theta are 0.880 and 2 pi minus I am going to give my final answer to 2 decimal places, but I'm just keeping an extra one all the way through so I don't get a rounding error. So I've been round once, now I have 2 pi plus, just move it over here, 7.163, and then 2 pi, 4 pi minus. So theta to 2 decimal places. So it's now when I round it. I don't round it too early. And I'm dividing each of them by 2 because it's got 2 theta just there. And here are my 4 solutions. So, the key things. Make sure that these match and they match your limits. I spotted the squared, so I went with this identity. If there's no squareds there, I won't be using this identity. I've created a quadratic. When there is no solution, write no solution, not math error. Then cast what you have, and at the final step, you divide by 2. Let's do one more. Now, first of all, check what's inside. X, 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 X. Good. Limits are good. Avoid dividing through by sign here. If you do, you can lose a solution. What you should do is make it equal to 0. I can then factorise. There's a sign in both. And I get my 2 solutions. Sine x is 0 and cos x is a third. Now, inversing both of those, I get 0. Now, please note, that is not one of my solutions, but doesn't mean I'll be ignoring it. I've got to see if there's any more. And then now, may seem silly, but this is something I do when I get 0. You don't have to draw cast to scale, so I'm going to draw it like this. I know it seems weird by putting 0 and 0, but I put them in the positive section because my angle is positive. Then, well, 0 plus 0 is 0, not a solution. But pi minus 0, pi is a solution. And I've got to go round to 2 pi. 2 pi plus the 0 is 2 pi. These, check, are answers. So these are 2 valid answers. This one, cos. So I will also have 1 point. Now I'm going to round now to 2 decimal places. 1.23 and 2 pi minus that answer to 2 decimal places, 5.05.